Hello, my Astro family. This is Lada from astrolada.com with your monthly September 2019 horoscopes. And this month I have good news for you. All of us on certain different levels of our life are going to experience removal or release of some difficult situation, of some blockage, because Saturn is turning direct for all of us together with the South Node is conjunct for the last time. So some karmic unresolved situation from the past that has been bugging you, that has been delaying you, blocking you, that has been making you feel inadequate, not enough in some way, or that's been putting a lot of burden on you, will be completed. And as well, we have a lot of planets in Virgo for the most of the month. So this month, all of us on some level will become a little bit more perfect, a little bit more we'll improve that area, because Virgo is about improvement, perfection. And we'll do some very practical, we'll get done a lot of practical work, because that's again the energy of Virgo, to do something practical, to get things done, to not waste time, to organize, to systemize in some way. So a lot of good things in front of us, and this Virgo stellium will subdue a little bit the crazy Jupiter square Neptune, which is making us go away with the fairies and project unrealistic expectations. So I'll explain to you for each sign. But before I start, I want to tell you that we are doing a retreat, 2 retreats actually, in Bali in February. Me and Natalia, one retreat is just with her, the second one is with me and her, very intense. We have space only for 20 people for mine and her retreat, and we're going to work with astrology, psychology, occult methods. It's called Goddess Retreat. It's only for women, how to basically become the woman that makes you happy, to manifest easy. And we're going to work with your horoscope personally, with each person. What does in your horoscope show that your blockages are, how to remove them, remedies, and all of those things, what career should be for you, what partner for you. So come and join us. And also in September, we have a marathon for wishes, how to fulfill your wishes. It's 30-day programming of your mind, and specific tactics and exercises every 2-3 days, and homework, how to fulfill your wishes. And also we have a seminar, a webinar with Victor, one of our best astrologers, on career and money. It's going to be 7 hours, 6-7 hours webinar, plus he gives you 15 minutes reading on your career and money for everyone that attends. Now let's see what's in store for you in September 2019. Well, we see there is a huge gathering of planets for the big part of the month, at least the first 15-20 days, in your 4th house. If you're Gemini, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And you know what 4th house is? Family and home. So you'll be very focused on that area of your life. Some of you, for example, might decide to start, and because it's in the sign of Virgo, Virgo is to perfect, to put order. So some of you might decide to clean up their home. Some of you might decide to rearrange it, to perfect it, to make it better somehow. Some of you might decide to work on the relationships within your family, and to approach those with a more analytical, with more critical approach. And you might even notice that some of your family members are becoming more critical. They're becoming more kind of perfectionist, or you might have developed, because it is your horoscope after all, sometimes you project it, or sometimes it comes from within, that you're becoming more critical towards family members, mother, father, or anyone that is in your close environment that you consider family, that you are trying to, because Virgo is to discriminate, is to remove toxicity as well, because Virgo rules the intestine. The small intestine, what does it do? It absorbs the nutrients, that it breaks them down, analyzes them basically, and it absorbs the ones that are only good for you, and leaves away the waste. So in the same way, you might have to do this approach towards something connected to your home, to your property, or to your family. You can notice if there is some toxic energy there that you want to eliminate it, but instead of becoming critical and grumpy and moody or nervous or stressed, which is the shadow side of Virgo, to be nervous, to be like, to worry a lot, to be critical, instead it's best to do what the small intestine does. Absorb the things that are good from there and remove the toxicity. So you might have to put some limitations as well there. You might have to have some important conversations with family in regards to that. so you can have a more clean environment there, emotionally, psychologically, even materially, physically. Virgo is the sign of cleaning, so that can be like put order in your home as well, to remove the chaotic energy, because Virgo is the most organized sign. And actually there is a saying, and the fourth house also rules your state of mind, your emotional state of mind, because it rules the feelings. So if there is a disorder, disorganization, or negativity in your emotional world currently in September, the best thing to do is actually start cleaning around. They say if there is, if within yourself you feel kind of, stressed and intense, start cleaning. And then this will put order in your own feelings. So when outside is organized, orderly, it starts reflecting on you. And this can be a great way to relieve some emotional tension this month if you're feeling it, or if your family stresses you, or whatever, or if you're dissatisfied with something that's happening in your personal life, which is again the fourth house. Also, for some of you, it might be an intense period where you are analyzing your past, because the fourth house is family history. Some of you might want to really, because Virgo is to analyze, to break into parts, to see it logically from a logical point of view, to understand it mentally, the dynamics in the family from your past. And maybe some of you might want to research your family trees a bit more methodically, which is again Virgo. Some of you might want to investigate history, or what's been happening with your parents, or things like that. What I can advise you, for example, is to do a family cleanup or family Virgo energies, to do some cleansing, for example. And it's not necessarily of the house, it might be of your body or whatever, but to do it together as a family unit, that can be a good decision as well for this month. Or it can be just like put order in your home, organize it, of your feelings, organize, systemize your feelings, how you feel about someone, about something from the past, the pros and cons, see it written on a piece of paper, on a list, so it can be powerful months for some internal work. You see, this is the bottom of the horoscope, the internal, the invisible, the feelings, to understand them, to analyze them, all of those things. And to absorb only the good things, and to release to be selective towards what feelings you let into your life. Also, to analyze if you want to live somewhere else. For example, if you want to move, it can be a month that you take important steps, because the two planets of action, Mars and the Sun, are there. If you want to move, you want to change something in the home, this again is a great month. And do a plan for it, because it is your fourth house for Gemini. It's in Virgo. Virgo likes a plan, clearly defined strategy, how to work, the good, the bad, the pros and cons. So have this plan if you want to change anything in your family, in your home, in your personal life and feelings, and that will be your best strategy for moving forward. But at the same time, you see those planets in Virgo will make an opposition to the Neptune in your 10th house, and to Jupiter in your 7th house, which are also making a square, the last square. So what will help you is that critical thinking that everyone has access to this month, everyone has access to the Virgo energy, will be counteracted or made to balance some unrealistic expectations or unrealistic perceptions about your plans about your career. Neptune in the 10th house, because Neptune has no boundaries, it's all allowing, inclusive. So if you might notice that if there was some chaos in your work, if there's been some chaos in your career, if you've been too allowing to your boss or to some institution, or to or if you're a boss and you're a boss who is too allowing, who is not putting boundaries, which is Neptune in the 10th house, not to discriminate, to allow everything, well, then maybe even members of your family can point this out to you and say, well, you see, the boss or this project, there's some imperfections, something connected to career or to authority figures, something is not, they can point out to you what is not working out. Or maybe you can, from the depths of your soul, notice that what is basically, and use critical thinking to perfect also, and to counterbalance some uncontrollable situation at work, at your career, or some goal that is a bit unrealistic, to analyze it from a more practical approach. Plus, those planets in Virgo will help you use critical thinking and discrimination and selectiveness in regards to your relationships. Jupiter in the seventh house. Jupiter in the seventh house often is, when it transits, they're very allowing towards others, towards partners, because it wants to grow those things. But maybe you've forgotten that you've allowed a partner too much. Maybe you're not selective enough about your partners, and you're gonna notice that kind of internal battle, because your inner soul, the fourth house, wants to put order in things, for you to be organized, to be more critically thinking. So this, you'll apply that, and this can create some tension with your partner. For example, you can say like, oh, to your partner, you're not doing something right, or you're not doing it perfectly, or your plan that you have for your job or whatever to your partner, it's not very practical, and you can help your partner maybe with a bit of resistance, because it's a hard aspect, to still manifest what they want, their plans for growth and expansions, but in a more realistic way, in a more grounded, in a more systematic way, which is what Virgo wants. So also, seventh house is your relationships with clients. It's your if you have a business as well, your practices towards selling and buying, and towards marketing as well, towards exchange with your clients. So maybe you will again notice some things that are toxic there, and you will, or not toxic, but that are too enabling, or that are too easygoing without limitations, and you try to put some apply more critical thinking in regards to that. So this is where the tensions can arise from a little bit. But also there is in ancient astrology, which is called Gemini astrology, which is 5,000 years old or something. They say that when both Jupiter and Mercury are in the mutable signs, they manifest these mutable signs to happen in a material way. So because Virgo is almost the whole month, Mercury is almost the whole month in Virgo, and Jupiter is the whole month in Sagittarius. So you can manifest in regards to relationships, so someone can appear, or something good can happen in the life of your partner as an opportunity, or a new clients can appear, new opportunities for business as well, for business collaboration and partnership. You can also manifest in your house, like a new house, property, place of living, all those things on a material, or family, members of family. And it also affects the 10th house, career. Again, as I said, there are difficult aspects between those planets, so there will be some internal struggle that's happening, especially with where having to discriminate there, what is the realistic from not realistic, but you can still manifest on those levels. And then we have another planet, this is Saturn, that is turning direct, because when Saturn is retrograde, it always the areas of that area of our life gets delayed, is a bit more burdensome, creates a bit more problems. So Saturn has been retrograde in your 8th house, Gemini, and that's mutual resources, money with partner, your mutual finances, taxes, insurances as well, money that comes to you from clients, or any resources that you're dependent on from another. Maybe some company supplies you with something. Well, if there was some delay, some blockages in any of those areas, or in inheritances as well, if there was some inheritances, or receiving money, maybe alimony from someone else, or some loan, or if you've been trying to get a loan from a bank and there've been delays or difficulties there, these will start gradually this month improving, because Saturn from retrograde is starting to move direct. So gradually, by the end of the month, you'll notice that some problems related to those mutual resources, finances, taxes, insurances, inheritances, money from clients, supplies from others, are starting to move forward, to be resolved, and also intimacy issues is the 8th house. On a more occult level, the 8th house is ability to trust another. So if there have been some trust issues, and to receive from another equally, or also it's the ability to share yourself with another on a deep, profound way, which is sexual intimacy. So if there have been some blockages with sexual intimacy, you might have some culmination, some realization in regards to those this month, Gemini. You might have, if you've been working hard on improving, on unblocking certain sexual blockages for you, certain blockages that are about receiving from the universe or from others. For example, you want you've been having problems that your husband does not give you or does not share with you. And it is important in a couple that there is give and receive, so if you've been having, or that you have problem, for example, of asking for help. This is Saturn in the 8th house, and it's been transiting there for a while, but it's starting to turn direct for the last time, I think, maybe one of the last times in your 8th house with the South Node. The South Node is to eliminate something from the past, is to remove some karmic blockage, something that you've been carrying too long for many past lifetimes. So especially imagine you have a problem asking for help. Imagine you have a blockage, which is what Saturn is, from that's been around for a long time, from receiving from others. You imagine you had problems from, say, you always attract partners that have less than you money, or that can never contribute, or there's been some blockage with the resources of your partner, so they can't work, for example, they can't contribute, to they having less, currently to the mutual, or that you always are, when you're with clients, you kind of receive less than you expect, or issues of that sort, or with intimacy that we talked about, that of trusting others, opening yourself. Well, these will start gradually. The South Node is to excrete, to remove, and the Saturn is blockages. Those blockages will start getting removed there. And some complicated situation connected either to taxes, insurances, inheritances, intimacy will start getting resolved, because you've been working hard on those issues for a couple of years now, Gemini. And now there will be some culmination, some peak, some resolution there. So there we go. This is the month for you. And I really hope that I will see you in Bali, maybe some of you, to work very in depth on your horoscopes, to do spiritual and psychological exercises with me and Natalia, or that if you're looking to find out what your career is, how to improve your career, you can join our webinar with Victor, which is 5-6 hours, and it comes with a free reading. There is an option, that you can order 15 minutes with this seminar, with this webinar. I think it was for $100 or $129 plus the webinar of 6 hours, or just $99 for the webinar on career, money, and profession. So thank you so much, and I will see you next month.